Hello everyone. Previously we had discussed about the factory design pattern or factory with classes, right? So today we'll be discussing about the observer design pattern. So when I say observer design pattern, let's try to understand why the observer design pattern is used and what are its this one advantages and what is mainly the observer pattern, right? So observer pattern, basically it allows an object or the subject, so it allows the object to notify multiple subscribers, nothing but observers, right? When I say multiple subscribers, it is observers. So observer pattern allows an object to notify multiple subscribers, nothing but the observers, about state changes. So this is what the observer pattern does. So where it is used, where can we make use of the observer design pattern? Basically, we can make use of it in event driven programming. So again, I'm telling you, if someone asks about the observer design pattern, you can just say the observer design pattern allows an object to notify observers or the multiple subscribers about state changes. So main thing, it is used in the advantages, it is used in the event driven programming, right? So let's try understanding the same with the basic implementation, then let's try to understand this one with the ob- um, I mean observer design pattern with the custom observer functions, right? First, let's try understanding the same with basic implementation. I'll just come here. Let me make use of class. I'll just give subject. So here within the subject, let me give constructor. So here within the constructor, I'll just give this dot. Let me assign this one observers, this one to the empty array initially, right? So then let me make use of subscribe, this one to the observer, right? So within the flower braces, let's push the observers. I'll just make use of the push of what we are pushing, individual observer, right? So I'll just give observer here. So after this, we have to notify, right? For that one, I'll just make use of notify of data. What can we write here now? This dot observers. Let's make use of the for each here. So I'll just call here observer. Here, this will be observer of data, right? So I hope this is clear. So next, just give me a second here. Did I miss anything? Observer of data we are considering, right? So I hope this is clear. Next, what I'll do, I'll just consider the variable subject and let's call new subject. So after this, in the next line, I'll just make use of the subject. So this has to be small subject, right? Small s, right? Sorry, we are considered small s. So here I'll just give subscribe of let me log this one. I'll just give here console.log. So also let's make use of the notify. Here I have to consider subject. We have considered the this one subscribe. This time we will be giving notify. So while uh, explaining about the this one observer design pattern, I said basically observer pattern allows the object to notify multiple subscribers, nothing but the observers, right? To notify multiple subscribers about the state changes, right? So we'll be making use of the notify here, and I inside the notify I'll just give observer pattern. So here let me give observer pattern. So here within this subscribe, to what we are subscribing? Console log. Console log, when I try running the code, I have to get the output observer pattern, right? So I have given here subject.subscribe of console log. We are just talking here. Then subject.notify of what we are notifying the multiple subscribers basically about the state changes within the string. We are giving the observer pattern. So when I try running the code, we have to get the output observer pattern, right? So let's try running the code. Here we are getting the output, correct output, right? Observer pattern. I'll just make this one capital O so that this looks good. So let me try running the code. This is observer pattern. I hope this is clear. In simple terms, I'll just explain very quickly. This dot observer. So what this is doing here is it tracks all the subscribed functions. This one, this dot observers, this or this one, anything. This dot observers, basically what this is doing here is it tracks all the subscribed functions. Notify of data we are considering, right? So this one here. Basically, first, as I have said, this dot observers, this one, this tracks all the subscribed functions, and notify of data. This one, what we have written here. This calls each observer with the data. Here we have made use of the for each, right? Here you can see each observer. We are calling each observer with the data. That is the reason we have made use of the for each, right? This is calling each observer with data. So here we are subscribing to basically we are logging, right, by making use of subject.subscribe. And when I give subject.notify of observe pattern, this has to log the this one observer pattern within the string. So that's what we are getting here. When I run this one, we are getting the observer pattern output. So I hope this is clear. This is the basic implementation. And next, so here let's try to implement the custom observer function. So let's try to extend the same thing with the same thing, right? Let's try to understand the custom observer functions. I'll just take one more class and I'll just give the name here observer. So I'll just make this capital O so that this looks good. So here what I'll do, within the observer, let me make use of the method update. So within the update, I'll just give data, right? So let's log here. What shall I log? Here I have already given the observer pattern. So one thing I'll just give here, observer received, something like that. You can give anything. In my case, I'll just give observer received, right? So, and also let me give data over here. So I hope this is clear. Next, let me make use of the variable observer and new observer. This one, right? So next, similarly, what we will do, I'll just make use of the subject. This has to be small, yes. Here we have considered the smallest, right? So here, not this one basically. I'll just consider the smallest basically. Subject, we have already considered the smallest, right? So this is fine. This one itself. Subject, what shall I do? I'll just make use of the subject.subscribe here. Within this one, let me give observer dot bind. Before bind, I'll just give update, right? So update dot bind of this thing, observer, individual observer, right? So this is fine. Next, I'll just make use of the same thing. Subject dot notify. So let me give what we are notifying. I'll just give something within the strings. In my case, let me give new data available, something like that. You can give anything. I'll just give new data available. So if I try running the code, let's try running the code. So first time, what it is happening, so we are getting the new data, right? So that is the reason after notifying, we are getting the new data available. Next, here what we are getting? We are getting the observer receive new data available. So here, this one we are getting. First, we are getting the notification after notifying. First, we are getting the new data available. Then we have already got the data. So what we are showing here, observer received, then the data. What is data here? This one. Data is nothing but the new data available. So here we are getting observer received new data available. So I hope this is clear. I'll quickly explain what I have done here. So update of data, this update of data, what this is doing here is it handles the observer's specific behavior. So this one basically handles the observer's specific behavior. And bind of observer, so we are binding the observer, right? So bind of observer, what this is doing here is basically this one. While I say bind of observer, this one, this line right here, you have to see this one. So bind of observer, what this is doing here is it ensures the correct this context. So when I try running the code, first this one, we are getting the observer pattern from this example, basically the previous one, observer pattern, this one, right? Then when this is notifying, first new data is available when I try running the code. So we are getting the output new data available. Next, after getting this one new data, when we get the new data, this notifies the observer that observer received, and the data, what data we have got? Nothing but the new data available. That is what we have got in the output here. So I hope the concept of this one, observer design pattern, is completely clear. So let me delete this one. Next, let's discuss on the advanced array manipulation. Let's discuss on the topic advanced array manipulation. Nothing but we'll be discussing about the map, reduce and filter methods. Advanced array manipulations, right? For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.